respect me, but don't forget me, yo. I come with a technique like say I'm Jet Li, yo. I just wanna bring out the vibe, they won't let me know. Wait, hold up, they say they get me, but they don't get me, though.
Hello guys, welcome to the Rome series. My name is Romeo Wateve, and today's topic for discussion is actually from the subscribers. One of the subscribers messaged me and they really wanted me to speak on this topic, and so I said I would, and this is for you. Here's the topic: can you please make a video about Generation Z and the things we are doing wrong in social media, success, peer pressure, sex, and etc. And why older generations look down on us, because I feel like my generation is being blamed for today's world tragedies. But is it really our fault? A lot of things, but I'll try to be concise and straight to the point to answer everything. So let's get straight to it. What is a generation? A generation is a group of individuals, single human beings that were born in the same time frame that was significant because of the impact that they made during that time. So what is Gen Z? Gen Z is one of the most recent generation in the last century. There are actually three generations of significance because of the recent technological breakthroughs that have occurred in each time. These three generations are as follows: Generation X, Generation Y, and Generation Z. Generation X are the elders, those who were born between 1980s backwards, and they were laborers, they were hard workers, and they did not have, everything that we have, technology basically. Yeah, they did not have mobile phones, they were not as advanced as we are, and so they lived their lives in, they live their lives quite different from how we live our lives today. And then we have the next generation, which they brought forth, which was the millennials, for those who were born between 1980s until 1995. And the millennials are those that actually brought forth the technological revolutions that we see and know today. They are the ones that brought forth the internet. They are the ones that brought forth the advances in technology in the telecoms industry, and they're the ones that actually made it all possible. They're the ones that made it happen. So the transition from the previous generation, which was Generation X, to Generation Y, and then now to Generation Z, which is the latest one, which is those who were born between 1995 until 2012, and those who were born into this
What do you say?
This
What are you trying to say?
Continue. Technological world are very, very important because each of them experienced a different culture of life. Generation Z is completely different from any other generation because of the fact that we were born in a technological world. We were born with cell phones. We were born with the internet. We were born with Netflix. We were born with Snapchat. We were born with Instagram. We were born with YouTube. So just because now you have a culture of going to YouTube for majority of your things does not mean that that's a bad thing, because the millennials didn't experience that. They grew up with Generation X, and Generation X were hard workers, so they were mostly dependent on social bonds, the bonds that were physical. Because the cultures are different, that's why the generations are so important. Because our culture is different, our culture obviously has different experiences than people in the past. For example, right now, you can be like, people complain, I messaged you 5 minutes ago, why you didn't answer me? But Generation X didn't have those problems. Like, you send a message to someone, put them in Pigeon. Pigeon goes there, takes probably a day or two to get there, and then you receive the reply probably a day or two after, depending if your pigeon is even alive by the time it reaches you. So you probably have to wait like a week, 5 days, 4 days per message. But nowadays, because of the technological breakthrough that we have, 5 minutes, 10 seconds. So phones are a tool. Phones are a tool. Social media is a tool. It's not a problem. Use the tool. In fact, you were born in it. You understand it more than anyone else. You know how to go on social media and go on Instagram. Use your Instagram. Go on use your Facebook. Go and use your Snapchat and integrate all of the information that is there to your advantage. That's what we're able to do, opposed to other people. People don't even know how to go left, right, or center. How do you? They don't know how to do that, but we know because we're born into it. So we have that advantage. So use that advantage. If you're gonna go and use 9 hours of your day on social media, at least make sure that those 9 hours that you use on that social media, at least 6 hours, I would say, at least 6 hours of those 9 hours were used to benefit yourself. Were used to learn something new, learn something that helps you. Nowadays, how many people use YouTube as their school? People use YouTube for anything. Like I've experienced so many different things where I was like, how do you do that, YouTube? How do you do that, YouTube? I saw a video, I saw this. People are learning through social media. So social media is not bad. It just depends on how you use it. Don't get lost in the source of thinking in terms of generation. It's all about the individual. It's about the individual. It's about how you respond to your circumstances. It's about how you make the most of the technological advantage that you have. Don't go with the flow. Don't get lost. Find yourself, know what you want, have a vision, sit down, plan, understand what is it that you want, and then use the tools that you have to achieve what you want. It's about self-discovery and balance. Prioritize, see your values. As I said, use 9 hours, okay, prioritize those 9 hours. And it doesn't mean you have to use those 9 hours indefinitely. You don't have to use them like immediately, back to back. No, separate them. There are other things more valuable than social media as well. And you need to understand that peer pressure is only when, peer pressure is not an issue. The issue is when you are affected by the peer pressure. There's so much pressure around us. There's so much pressure that people have, so much expectations that people want us to fulfill, so much things that people want us to do. But as long as you know what you want and what you want to be and how you're going to do it. Not even how you're going to do it, just know what you want. You'll be able to find your way there. That's the important thing. And that's related to everything else. Don't just do a thing for the sake of the thing. Do it with reason. Think, why am I going to do it? Alright, because I could be using that time for something more beneficial. So I'm still using the social media, but to a more profitable way. That's very important, and that involves everything else. I'm sure you can take something from this. And other generations that are talking about, people are cussing millennials, people are cussing Gen Z because of their diversity in their cultures and the different mindsets. Don't listen to them. So we have these problems, we have this that happened. Yeah, there will always be problems. So don't blame anyone for problems. Problems always exist. Problems will always exist. We have problems. We experience problems through Generation Z. We experience problems through Generation Y, and we experience problems even in the times of Generation X. So it's not about the generation, it's about the individuals. A generation could not have caused that problem. It was an individual. It was the individuals that made that happen. It was the individuals. So be wary of individuals. Don't be wary of generations. Be wary of individuals. Individuals are the ones that can affect or destroy a generation. And you're an individual as well. And I want to know what you're going to do for this generation. I'm part of Gen Z, even though I feel like a millennial, but I'm a Gen Z, and that's what I'm trying to do. Not everyone's like me, I know that, but it's not about the generation, it's about the individual. Go out there and make a difference. I hope that answered everything, and I hope it was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please follow me on my Insta. If you have any more topics, anything else that you'd like me to speak about, feel free. I'm a friendly guy. I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you.
respect me, but